Hello everyone. This is Suzanne Knabe-Nicole from Police Science Doctor with your weekly dose of police science snippets. Number 217 today. Police Science Doctor is the medium that brings the science into policing. So it's like a slide from the academic world and all the findings they have found in their research studies on evidence-based policing, investigative psychology, forensic psychology, forensics, crime analysis, military security research. All of that is funneled down to you guys, the law enforcement practitioners or whatever you field you're working in. And I try and communicate that information to you so you can use it. For that purpose as well, I do this weekly broadcast of 3 golden nuggets of information that has just been published in academic peer-reviewed journals, new findings in the fields of science in policing that I think hopefully you can put to use straight away in some way. So the first snippet of this week is about transfer of rapport. In this study, participants engaged first with an experimenter, then with an interviewer. Perceptions of rapport with the rapport-building interviewer were higher when the experimenter had also tried to build rapport before. Perceptions of rapport with the experimenter were greater when the interviewer later built rapport, so obviously asking them in retrospect. The link to the original research is in the document or in the email that I sent every Tuesday to everyone who's already on the Police Science Doctor email list. You can just click on the link and the research will pop up. And my thought was added onto this, where I was saying perhaps this also applies to officers arresting and booking in a suspect who's then handed over to the interviewer. So if the officers manage to build and maintain rapport, then it is easier for the interviewer later to also build and maintain rapport, and the suspect having a better sense of procedural justice. Very important. The second snippet of today is about child sexual abuse and bias. This study investigated whether emotions and psychophysiological states experienced whilst observing a child sexual abuse interview had an impact on question formulation. It was found that participants who got more rather than less disgusted by the interview asked more questions biased towards confirming child sexual abuse rather than seeking both to confirm and disconfirm allegations and remain open-minded, which is in theory what we should all be doing. But it can become a little bit difficult. So if you've got stronger emotions towards that suspect, more disgust, disbelief, anger, whatever it might trigger in you, you're more likely to then become biased and only try and seek to confirm what you already think the person has done. And the last snippet for this week is about the effectiveness of sexual risk orders. This is something that was put in place here in the UK in 2015. And it is something that the court can, well, actually, I'm explaining it in here, so let me read it. Sexual risk orders can be issued by a court when, on the balance of probabilities, now this is a civil court level, it's not the criminal court burden of proof. So when, on the balance of probabilities, a suspect is deemed to pose a risk of sexual harm to others. And the sexual risk orders aim to manage their behavior by imposing restrictions and requirements. And because the study was done because, in essence, these people have not been convicted of an offense yet. Okay, so that's the interesting point here. This is new legislation that enables the police or the courts to do that. The person has not been convicted, but they do appear to be a risk of sexual harm to others. So they then found that sexual risk orders are associated with a significant, statistically significant 84.5% reduction in sexual harm. Very effective. And this percentage actually increases to 93.1% in the case of high harm offenders. We should all be doing that. Okay, very, very important finding. Despite this, sexual risk orders are rarely used and are not systematically targeted against the most harmful offenders. So hopefully this research will change that. This is one of those things that comes out quietly, is published, and other academics read it, but now it has to be communicated. So we've already got this legislation here in the UK. Let's use it a lot more. And wherever you don't have this legislation, put it in place because it reduces harm very, 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 very much. Okay, so these are the 3 snippets for this week. There'll be more snippets next week. So if the snippets that I've just read out are not actually applicable to your particular role, don't despair. The email that you get with the snippets every week has the password for the read page at the bottom of it. So go to Police Science Doctor or policesciencedr.com, or just Google Police Science. You'll find the website. Enter your details into the form that pops up. If it doesn't pop up, just go to the bottom of any page and put your details into the form and you'll be on the list. It's free, no spam, just really, really relevant content from me, including and mainly those police science snippets every Tuesday with the link to the original research. And with the password, you can then go and download all the previous PDFs with 3 snippets each from all the previous weeks and see if you find something that is relevant to your particular role. Okay, so that was it for this week. In the background, I'm working very hard on the first edition of the Police Science Doctor magazine. You will be hearing more about that. I need people from all over the world to get involved with content, short interviews, articles, advertising. I need to pay my designer. The magazine is free for everyone, and it will be financed by advertisers. So if you've got a course, if you've got a book, an event, a product that is relevant to other law enforcement practitioners around the world, then please contact me and place an advert into the magazine, and it will help the magazine to actually be produced at least a second time then. So hopefully there was something of interest to you, and I'll be speaking to you again soon. Bye-bye. Thank you for watching. I hope you found this content useful. You can get access to each episode's transcript with key learning points, timestamps, and references if you get yourself onto my mailing list. Just go to the main website on policesciencedoctor.com, and on the bottom of each page you will find a sign-up form for notifications of new content. Just enter your first name, your preferred email address, and the type of organization you work for. You will not get any spam. This is just for me to let you know about new content and for you to get access to all the transcripts.